Hello friends, good
Hello, good
morning.
morning. This is
This is
Shamal
Shamal
here.
here.
What is good and
Economics.
what is bad? So, good means what is good for you may be bad for others, right? It can be vice versa. So, it's a relative terminology. Similar way, good economy, bad economy. So, what is good economy? If you try to understand the economy, or try to understand good economics or bad economics. What is good economics for you may not be good economics for others. Like an example, if you feel that you are getting a cheap labor because of ample availability of laborers, you are paying less wages, so it is good for you. But the person who is working for you, he might not be very happy. For him or for her, the situation is very, very tricky. For him or her, they might feel they are the victim of bad economy. Now, the question is, who decides what is good and what is bad? What is good economy and what is bad economy? This is a question, it's a very, very debatable question. That's why you have many times there are different isms came into the picture. So it's again a long history in understanding the whole lot of things. When I talk about ism, is basically the distribution of wealth directly or indirectly. So everybody wants to have their opinion in terms of or share in terms of the natural resources, the wealth any country is having. Now, the fundamental question is, if you have not a homogeneous kind of distribution pattern, or it is a kind of a one way direction, some wealth is been accumulated by few sets of people, then there is a problem, then there is a question of economic problem, the distribution pattern. If it is not proper, then there will be inequality. Now the question is, if I consider India, I am giving very, very simple fundamental question, like in 1947, before that 300 years British they have ruled us. We have a Jamindar system. So your wealth is been accumulated with the Jamindar, the bourgeois system, and partly British, whatever they have taken, it is taken. Before leaving, what we had a fundamental thing. We have still Jamindar system. It was existing. So the whole India was not ruled by the British, right? Now the question over here is, now whatever the leftover after independence, so our constitution is a fundamental thing where it's a basically a guide kind of a guidelines. That guidelines is driven by certain fundamentals. It is based on the democratic value, democratic system, and some rational thought process that is been given to formalize this our constitution. So if I consider constitution over here, the right to an individual, right to have education, right to have liberty, right to have their food, shelter, accommodation, right to have their free voice, free speech, right to have all kind of human rights, what we are talking about, those kind of provisions are given. Now the question is over here, the inequality is coming because of the distribution pattern. Last many years, last 60 70 years, what we have been observing, I have told many times our 80% wealth is been captured by or is still under holding by 20%, close to 15-20% of Indian population, and another 20% wealth is been utilized or been enjoyed by 80% of the population. To make it very simple here, right, when I talk about 15-20% of total population of 150 145 crores or 40-45 crores, 140 to 145 crores means around how much? It will be around close to 20 crores. People are enjoying 80% of the total wealth of India. Rest, if I minus 20 crores, it will be close to 125 crores population is enjoying only 20% wealth. Now the question is over here, you cannot have a good economy where it is exactly coming the bad economics and good economics. And that is what in your constitution it is fundamentally written that after many years it is given thought there will be land reformation act. One need to understand from where your wealth is coming, or where economy the major strength is there in India. The strength of Indian economy is agriculture. Now the question is over here, if land reformation act is not been implemented properly, how one can expect that the economical condition or growth pattern will be same for 100 and 145 crores people? That is the fundamental thing over here. Many people are having no lands. Industry, this is a secondary part. This is the primary part is agriculture. India 60-70% population is totally based on agriculture. Now, if the majority of people are being deprived from their land or no land reformation act being implemented, you cannot expect number one the good economy, and it is going to lead to more laborers, workers, like who are working for other lands. That is what with on daily labor basis. This is one part. Second part is talking about the wealth accumulation part. The people are who having the number of lands are more, they are more richer, they are already rich, and having those lands they are becoming more richer, so that economic differences from the very rich people to poor people are too much. Now, this economic equilibrium, if you want to bring over here, number one, the fundamental thing, you don't need a big economic science. Probably people talk about you need to understand economics like anything. I told it's a very simple thing. One can finish the economics in a very one paragraph. Even if you don't need a Nobel Prize or Nobel laureate, you don't need hundreds of books writing for good economics and bad economics. That is not required at all. It is the desire and wish for a country or for a society or for the government, whether they want to implement and they want to distribute the wealth throughout across the different sections of people. If they don't like to do it, then there is a question mark, and in a very simple way that problem can be resolved. Probably that is what I was trying to convey over here. If no country or no state is not implementing those things, so you will have the same pattern what we have been observing nowadays, and this is going to be continued. For a bad economics, that is what I told. What is the vested interest over here? When I talk about bad economics and good economics, one set of people might be feeling that whatever land and wealth they are capturing, if those kind of rules like no land reformation act or wealth reformation act is been implemented by government, then they will lose their dominance, or their share and wealth will be reduced. Now this is one way of thinking. The other might be thinking, no, if probably this wealth is been proper distributed to across the different section of people, then there will be a kind of a homogeneous society. So friends, for somebody it is good, and for somebody who are not having, who are thinking if this is done it will be a good for them, the other is thinking it is very bad for them, it's a bad economy. Now a country or our government has to take the final call how they want to do it, that's all. You write hundreds of theories one can write, but finally at the end of the day it has to be implemented. I talked about many Nobel laureates talked about bad economics, good economics, microeconomics, macroeconomics, free viz, free concept, all those things they have given. Those things are already written. Theory of poverty, poverty elevation program, many things that is written, probably none of the theories that is been implemented. Those are the theories, probably it is good to get a prize. I personally felt many times I talked about no economists are ready to resolve their issue, the poverty. They want to keep poverty alive. They are into business of poverty, and they are very reluctant to write in Wall Street Journal and a big magazine about the poverty and romanticizing the whole lot of things. Look, this is very simple thing. Finally, at the end of the day, it is the wisdom of a government how they want to implement it. If they feel this is a good thing, like an agricultural policies, many things, poverty elevation program, it can be done in a very systematic way, and government, any government, they have such kind of power, they can exercise it. At the end of the day, it is the wisdom of a government. If they feel it is a good or bad, probably they can implement it. I talked about different isms. Those isms like talking about communism, socialism, all those isms are there. And those things are currently diluted in a different form. Those are this Marxism, Leninism. Nowadays, all those people who are the pracharak of all those isms, they are not following in their life such kind of philosophy. Now in modern day, what we need to do essentially, we need to decide that what are the good things for the society, what are the good things for the society, what is good economy. It's a simple fundamental way. In my idea, good economy is something like that the consumer here, the citizen of the particular country, here in this case the citizen of India. So each one, from the rich to poor, each one should live comfortably, to reach in harmony. They should get proper shelter, proper medicine, proper education, a pollution free society, hassle free society, a little health care, good water, and opportunity for job. Everybody should be getting little kind of job to lead their life. So that is probably, if anybody is able to bring such kind of atmosphere in any society, and the social harmony, obviously this is one part probably one need to consider. Those are the symptoms of a good economy, and people should enjoy their life what they are doing. And what is bad economy? Bad economy, in a very rational sense, bad economy sometimes it is directed to a specific thing. See, people are, if you are having a rich man having trillions of dollar, and the lowest part is not having a single dollar, that is not a question of a, not a sign of a good economy. In Europe and all, I have told many times the difference of very rich people and poor people is not that much. The gaps are very less. Even the salary structure of a professor in a university and a clerk in the same university, it is not that much. So there are certain human standard. Probably you need to, if you want to lead a life, if you want to have a family, you need to have minimum, bare minimum expenses. They try to keep that human angle in mind and try to justify. They want to see the university's professor and the clerk, their kids are going to the same school. Probably their standard of living, that's why it is much better than India. Indian case is totally different. In the same organization, the topmost, who are the director, professor and all, just giving an example, or any company, the top order is getting huge amount of remuneration and the lower order is not getting one fifth of the salary what they're getting the higher order. That is what it is. Though so much difference, sometimes it is very very difficult to cope up with the lower order to run their family. What they do, the corruption is coming because of that reason. That's why they tend to enter into, because that much money is not good enough to lead their life. They practice all kind of, if they are government, they practice all kind of malpractice, right, to earn extra money. So it is like, no, if you are keeping somebody like, no, in a half stage, somebody is hungry, so you keep on trying to give him like no food which is not like no 100% for their body system. Some like no food is, what I'm trying to again tell you, some food stuff which is what is required for a human body for their consumption, for the energy, if that is not been given, people tend to steal many things, right? This is a general tendency and that has been seen in the animal world. I've been working on animal labs over here. I have seen like no, if proper food is given, they don't generally mess up things. Those things are very common for the rats, right? If you are giving little food over there, for the cats also, if you are giving little food, they don't generally jump here and there. They don't steal food from any places. That is their tendency. For a human also, probably this the same philosophy works. I personally believe that the corruption of India is happening from higher order to lower order. The reason behind it, it's like the higher order is trying to accumulate wealth in many ways. The loopholes they got, the lower order, like no, that the government or whoever in a position to having the public access, they try to exercise whatever their power to pull the extra money in cash. The higher order, they do the manipulation in a different way, in a organized form that is known to everybody. I'm not discussing that part. Until or unless any society is trying to give a minimum, basic minimum thing, the possibilities, whatever the natural resources you have, that access is not been given, then people won't be doing such kind of activities. Otherwise, the number of crimes also, it is getting increased day by day. That is one of the reason. And the stealing activities, or the corruption part, like no index is increasing. That is the reason. And there are various socio-economic issues that is directly indirectly involved in those parameters. A government must take a note in that direction, that how to bring down and how to make a sustainable economy. That is what I was trying to tell. Many times I have talked about, I have my economic model. I told I have given two economic models for a sustainable model. Number one is like no, if you understand the ecological food chain, the primary consumer part, like no, where plants are there, if you are able to give access to all the people to the agricultural land, some piece of land to everybody with proper distribution, if they are giving a scientific way of, if they are doing the agriculture, probably that economy 60-75% your problem will be resolved. Number one, if there access to a small piece of land with a scientific way of doing agriculture. Here I am not discussing all those things, how it is. Probably one can look and see my video. The second part I was trying to talk about the industry part, the other another 30% different industry sector, education sector, healthcare sector, 30-40% people. And if this is organized little bit and given the job opportunity, and the another problem will be resolved. Very calculative way of, if the government is trying to do whole lot of things, the it won't take much time. Probably this is one of the hope for a sustainable economy. That is what I was thinking. The second part, the freebies concept, nothing is free in this world. Again I'm telling, this government must stop all kind of free electricity, free water, those business. This economy, if this economy has to develop, India has to, you need a good road, good transport, good airport, good healthcare system. From where those money will come if everybody is thinking to give free everything? The free concept has to be abolished. Whichever way they want to abolish, it is the concern of the government, or the constitution authority must look into that part. Third part, I talked about Indian constitution, few loopholes, like no, your it is very important to bring uniform civil code, removal of article 164, and removal of reservation. Those three things, reservation both in education as well as job, one must remove those laws are, no democratic country is following such kind of laws. Nobody, even in Bangladesh it is not there, in Sri Lanka it is not there, in our neighboring country. Friends, what I was trying to tell you over here, the good economy is a overall situation. Like no one has to create the condition. It's a kind of aroma has to be created from all direction. Then I'm talked about my entrepreneurship program. All the state government, central government are offering or promising jobs, right? How much jobs government can create? Government should not be in a business of creating jobs. They should, or offering jobs in that manner, they should be given an opportunity and try to promote the entrepreneurship programs. Those programs can directly or indirectly help to create millions of jobs. An entrepreneurship program can be started from the school curriculum. That's why you need to change the education policy, the system. Whatever modern things are there, it is very important that you need not be very highly qualified, and there are some vocational course probably one can offer, so that immediately people can be absorbed to different industry or agriculture. There are many things in agricultural training, how to practice good agriculture. There are millions of agricultural graduates who are coming out from different colleges and universities. They can be absorbed in this uh, development of agriculture, and one can set up, any each state can set up different people who are expertise for a better development of this particular state, whether it is in the field of sport or field of agriculture, field of fish farming or field of poultry, diagnostic, many things. Probably there are experts available. They should seek the advice. People are there ready to give free advice, only government has to accept it. It is very important that your primary production has to be there, and that if your agriculture and industry, those two things probably are the main component of a good economy. If a country is able to do that and justify and manage in a proper way, and there must not be any kind of problem. The first, last part is the population part. As I have told many times, the world population is close to now 780-90 crores, right? Another 20-30 years, it is expected the population will be close to 1500 crores, the world population. Now the question is how we are going to feed the system, the shelter, accommodation, medicine, all those things are coming into the picture. It is very, very, very hard time that is coming until or unless we immediately look into the population part, the control part, certain things if you are not implementing. Because of corona, we are facing so much problem for a vaccination of 140 crores people. How many months and how many doses are required? Those kind of pandemic, when country faces such kind of situation, now it is globally we are facing such kind of problem, we are not able to resolve those issues. So it is not that easy that one way you don't have the population policies. Each country must have their population policies, and irrespective of caste, religion, or any kind of biasness, it must be or immediately implemented without thinking much about the consequences. The way Article 370 was removed, similar way, all those things what I have told, it has to be implemented. Look, it is very, very simple, like I talked about many times. I can finish my lecture, A Good Economics, in a 2 or 3 sentences. I told long back, if I have 1000 ml of water, yeah, if I have to distribute to the 5 people, there are two ways of looking at it. If I want to conclude again by saying that I don't like to make it is a very lengthy video, 1000 ml water, if I feel from my side to have a good economy, probably I can consume or drink 1000 ml water. Now the question is, if I see that my other side another 5 people are sitting, so if I have to justify, if I have to give 1000 ml water, this is very simple way. I divided 1000 ml divided by 5, so each one gets 200 ml of water. That's all. Now, if I have any biasness, if I want to bring an element to satisfy certain section of people, what I can do? I can differentiate. The first one, if I consider my general manager, someone is manager, somebody is engineer, somebody is office staff, somebody is clerk. So what I do? I give my general manager 400 ml. I give my engineer 200 ml, 600 ml, that's all. Another 400 ml I distribute my junior engineer 100 ml, my office staff 100, my peon another 100 ml. Altogether, if I calculate the total 1000 ml of water. So now the question is, how somebody is looking it similar way. Any kind of a government also has to see in the same direction, how the benefits or how those things has been translated and given to different sets of people time to time. One has to see, government has to be at the end of the day like a sun, so it doesn't care about if somebody is rich or somebody is poor or somebody is what not, probably they never see that part. Similar way, our our government has to be little kind of an, any government for that matter, probably unbiased way of looking the whole lot of thing. They need to consider the all, wherever they're living, they're the citizen of that particular state, and for their betterment and welfare, whatever scheme has to be brought in. And one need to see how things has been distributed. Again, the distribution pattern, proper management is required, and one need to see there is no politics also at the end of the day, and there is not a kind of a scam. There are many things are happening in this society. In India is a great country, I told you. You have the history of scam or scammer, right? So that is another topic, probably one, it will be a kind of an endless story, that all the scammers most of them are living, like no, there are countries who are giving shelters to them. The people who have ruled us for 300 years, now they are giving shelter to the big scammers. So they are prospering their economy. Let's say if I have cheated my government here, if I go to a particular country, for that matter, UK. So UK government, they have the simple thing: you have this much millions of dollar, you bring and you get a citizenship. Now the question is, I'm not able to understand yet what kind of country, probably their philosophy of operation or philosophy of bringing their economy in order. They feel they're the very highly intellectual, and they're been respected globally. And what kind of respect, I am yet to understand that part. So look, for me, if I think as a rational thinker, one has to think. Otherwise, there is no question of thinking. There is no question of thinking a bad man or a good man, probably. People, a chai wala or a rickshaw wala or a pan wala, he earns also 30, 40,000, 50,000 rupees per month. That is in the profession way. A cheater also, he earns 30, 40,000. A scammer also, he earns. A teacher also earns 30, 40,000 rupees. Now if I have to define that honest way of earning money, probably is coming, what are the ethics somebody is taking, whether teachers should be given priorities, or a cheater should be given priorities. It is for the society to decide. But if I have to decide, but I have every right to decide, that definitely my first preference will go to the person who is honest way of earning and doing their job. Obviously the teacher. Similar way in different profession, the respect for their jobs has to be also respected. Nowadays in societies, money is a final thing, probably is talking. There is nothing called here a professor or a scientist, they don't have any value for the society. So nowadays, if you are talking good, probably if you are not showing your status, society doesn't recognize you, or country also doesn't recognize you. Sometime we are giving importance to unwanted thing in this society. We are giving our diverting our energy in a different way. We are giving importance to the people who doesn't deserve such kind of respect, probably we are giving. It's a kind of a very very bad precedent at the end of the day for a society. Here I'm talking about giving respect, and for the betterment of the country. People will lose interest at the end of the day. If a professor or a scientist is not being given respect, for that matter, if you are giving a 10 standard or 12 standard person, who is having a lot of money and who having political holding and that power, probably if somebody is respecting, it is too much for a society to digest at the end of the day. Look, here I'm not talking about any individual over here. I'm talking about in a general sense. If this is the trends for this country, probably our moral standard. That's why sometimes I feel many times our moral standard, our reason, our rational thinking process, our reasoning, dialectical thought process, it has been lost. I told many times the students of India currently, whoever is coming out, everybody is thinking that government is going to give job. Those are the hopes. They are not utilizing or exercising their rational thought process, that they also can create a platform, or they can be an entrepreneur from their own ideas or ideas from the others. They can form a company and they can lead their life. They can also create job opportunity for many. I'm not talking about many, maybe for even for a 10, 15 people. If India has to prosper, our government has to organize a lot of entrepreneurship program and correlation between MSME, all those universities, everywhere the entrepreneurship kind of sale training and innovation program has to be there. Those kind of thing, probably is going to give you millions of jobs, because in India the youth is close to, if I even consider 140 crores, 50, 60 crores youth, and though they are the future for the country. And if a proper direction is given for them, and they are ready to, and they are ready to put their energy, they are the real wealth, and those wealth can be managed, and if the human resource, if it is managed properly, they are going to bring wealth for the country. That is the thing what I want to convey. I talked many times about the great institute like IIT, which are developed soon after independence. The fundamentals of IIT, it is not to produce kids and sending abroad. We are not doing the exporting job. So currently what we are doing simply the exporting job. Government must, it is not the government they are doing, probably the students who are passing out, they are forgetting the mandate of formation of IITs. It is there to develop our own nation. We are creating a kind of wealth over here, and we are exporting free of cost, and they are prospering there. So government must stop those brilliant minds who are going abroad and settling and forgetting the whole lot of things. Look, I told many times, giving this few dollars here and there, sitting it from different countries and taking the citizenship and giving a kind of a thanking note, it is not going to help for your country. At the end of the day, again there is a question of, if you want to be a nationalist or you want to be an internationalist, this is a kind of a debate. At the end of the day, I personally feel, when somebody is hungry, one has to be selfish, that's all. There is no way, when the survival is coming for a country, for an individual, I feel the best philosophy one can adapt from the crow. They don't believe in democracy or any ism, Marxism, Leninism, or communism, for that matter, socialism or dictatorship. They know how to steal it. So those are simple philosophy. Probably this is their one. It comes to the bottom line. So no ism is going to work. One can understand the philosophy of Crow, how they steal, and they do it collectively. I have seen in my mind lab. If they want to steal it, they will steal it. Simple matter. There is no ifs and buts they don't keep. I feel the cats and rat, as well as the crows, they're the most brilliant. Basically, crows, they are the brilliant birds, and their knowledge, the power, and the kind of calculation they make, it's phenomenal. Probably I can say it. Friends, I have spoken for a long time. I feel that in my mind lab there are many guests now. Only one kitten was there. I could see that many cats, many dogs, many rats are coming. I've been offering some foods here and there to understand that where their comfort zone is. There are many now, only 10 or 12. Nowadays, all dogs are also coming. I am not spending, I'm just some waste. I could see a lot of scarcity around the place where I live in Mumbai, and I have not invited anybody. They're coming. Look, this is something called like no sustainable thing. It's like no for economy also. If you set up a small industry, similar way our agrarian society, when the industrialization in 18th 19th century started, like no people moved from village to city. So city was established. Now I could see in my mind lab some food, some sense of foods are there. How many? There are cats, there are rats, there are crows. There are not rats, one rat. Nowadays, rats are gone because of cats. Now I have the visitor cats, around 5, 6. They come in different time. Joe, I have permanent two cats over here. Total 6 cat, 2 dogs. So total 8 animals within 3 months. Probably I can see the 8 animals coming from different direction. They are the regular visitor over here. It's a very good sign. Probably at the end of the day, I feel that my economy or economic model is working. So I want to make it sustainable that way. Sustainable, to how to make it sustainable. They are not understanding that I am spending little bit money. I don't like to spend money also. At the end of the day, what I am using, whatever waste things are there, I am using it. Waste organic part. I have some chicken shops just 100 meter away from my home. I gave get very cheap chicken, like no, there are bones which are thrown to municipal corporation, like no, garbage station. I get those stuff with a lower price. I try to see those things are very good, and this is kept for those dogs and cats, and they enjoy it. That is one part. So I'm helping them. I'm also indirectly helping reducing the pollution load. I have talked about my MindLab. The objective is to make a sustainable environment. Also, I have taken few Nobel laureates who work on global warming, that I want to reduce the pollution load. That is what I talked many times. If I am able to reduce my organic load by 50%, means I am saving a lot of energy, and those things finally ultimately going to the dumping station, and they're been all they're burnt. So a lot of pollutants is is coming out, and it has been seen years after years, like no, my submission is, whatever organic things you have at home, if you are able to give feed to cats or rats, probably, and if you are giving shelter them, basically the cats at your corner of your house, and they will give an opportunity to give lot of enjoyment to you, number one. Number two, your stress also is going to be released. Third point, they are going to consume those organic foods. And fourth point, their biological food change, population dynamics also remain little in good shape. And fifth part, pollution level is going to be reduced drastically 30-40%. And the final part, your global warming also can be reduced. Now you imagine a situation globally, you have around 50 million cats living different countries. In India, close to 12 million cats, 12 to 15 million cats they are living. So that is a big number. Their contribution in the ecological food chain is too much. Probably we need to see, being as a biologist, being as a normal person, one need to be little analytical. So finally, I want to end up, my good economy is not good economy, is how much money you have in your account. That is not good economy. You need to see that how much money in there in the, in a kind of a, if you have 100 in a bank, like no, if you take the proper sampling, if somebody having crores of rupees, somebody is having 500 rupees, the basic amount, it is not the sign of a good economy. Probably from the banking sector also one can understand that part. It's from the data, probably it can be seen very very easily. So people should have the minimum thing, like you cannot have a full glass and then one glass is totally empty, right? So that is the final thing. In a society should think in that direction, and it should work in that direction to have a better economy or better growth and better life at the end of the day. Finally, I want to conclude by saying that my MindLab, I've been working, now it is probably 7 or 8 months I've been working constantly. I'm so happy to share many things, like that I what I told. My perception of economics is totally changed now. my perception of life and philosophy total change. Now I have been understanding, trying to understand the emotional and the knowledge part of cats, rat, and crow. I could see they are very, very knowledgeable. Basically, the cat's emotions. I've been working on a theory called auction theory that has been applied in a business tendering part, probably to get the better price. I'm trying to understand if this auction theory can be used for the emotions and knowledge, and a good education policies framing, right, keeping individual minds in mind, like individual kitten. If you have four kittens, each kitten is having a different set of understanding, their knowledge and their likings. Sorry, based on the individual likings, probably one can develop a specific model. Auction theory, 2018-19, Stanford University professor got the Nobel Prize. Okay, this is fine. Probably if this can be used for education or and other various application to understand the mind for a better application, probably it will be a great help at the end of the day. This is for my own understanding. Again, I have been telling many times, I am not here to impose or to tell the society to accept it. For my understanding, if I feel those things are good or bad, if I'm convinced by my side that okay, these are the good thing, probably I'm trying to share this information with everybody. If somebody is feeling okay, it's a good idea, at least okay, respect that idea. If anybody is feeling okay, I want to implement this thing in my personal life, it's fine, fair enough. Similarly, if government feels no, those are the good idea, let them do it. But imposing those things or telling government in a negative, because everybody understand what is good economy, bad economy, I told you. So it is not required. You don't need a big paper or big research paper to write about whole lot of things. Finally, it is coming the wisdom and knowledge and your power to execute all those fundamentals in society is going to give you only a better society, better life for everybody. That is what I feel. Once again, thank you very much. My kittens are playing, eating, dancing, singing. So they are enjoying their life. Sometimes I feel they enjoy their better life than human being. This is a cat is coming from some neighbor's house. So it's Otithi. I told it's Otithi Devo Bhavo. You come inside, please. So it's trying to come inside, and every time now his frequency has been increased also. So and this frequency increase means he's taking enjoying his life with other kittens. He's making friendship. So for cats, they make very, very immediate friendship with others. They don't fight. They sometimes fight, but after end of the fight, probably they come down to a kind of a compromise situation, and they feel, Lord, enough is enough. Probably we have to leave. So even they understand what is outside and inside. I told many times in a house, they easily can understand what is inside and what is outside. If I try to throw them out, they will try to come inside immediately. Otherwise, they will scream at me and pray. So, those kind of things, probably their body language, it is understood. Friends, I want to conclude by saying few things over here. I have started my initial presentation that what is good, what is bad economics, what is good economics. All are very kind of subjective and a very relative terminology, but if country has to take or somebody has to take a neutral decision, one has to take in a very holistic way. That holistic approach is very, very important for a state or for a particular country. If that view is taken, probably all justice can be given. That is the final thing I want to tell. And economics, proper distribution and distribution channel and a democratic way of thinking whole lot of things and finally reaching out to the lowest order is the final success probably, I feel personally. And one has to think of a development in totality, not only human index. The other world, other living world has to be taken into consideration because we are the part of the food chain. Finally, everything is very kind of interlinked, and that is what environment is coming into the picture. So environmental pollution, global warming, many other issues, corona, all those things are very kind of interlinked. Until or unless we see our economy in a very totally and totality, the whole thing probably will be defeated. So holistic approach is very important. I have talked about the young minds, right? I have my personal experience, personal journey of life, and that whatever little experience I have tried to see and try to see that everybody probably is going through the similar kind of experiences in their life. His life is not easy, no society is easy. One has to find out the ways and means. That's why every time I talked about use your rational thinking, dialectical thought process, whatever knowledge and wisdom you have, rather than asking jobs from the government, be a little thinker, think over it that whatever the plus points you have, probably you can, if you are able to sustain in this society in a very simpler form, keeping very few fundamentals in mind. First of all, the jobs, no jobs are bad or good. One has to create, and based on the likings, probably that atmosphere can be created. So it is the personal choice at the end of the day, and one has to think, one has to little work very intelligent way or harder way to make their life little simple, and it is possible, very much possible. I have seen in the animal world how they are living. Many times I compare with the life of animals. Like my models, like no, I have seen many animals, but I am very closely associated with those cats. I could see their survival pattern, survival tactics. Right, they are very practical in their life. They are able to adjust in any atmosphere, any circumstances. They are ready to do that. They are living with humans, having all kind of odds in their life every time they are under stress, but they are living 10 years, right? Their life 10 to 12 years they can survive in this mother earth. There are millions of cats, millions of rats, millions of crows, all those birds, animal, they are living without having any kind of expectation. Their policies live for the moment probably, and that is the only driving force. So we human being having all kind of resources, all kind of intelligence, all kind of technology, till we are frustrated, we are not happy at the end of the day. So why this is so, that is a question probably we need to ask. So whether we are to be blamed for that, we need to blame the society. There are blame politician, blame everything, rather than blaming everybody. At the end of the day, I personally believe that your charity should begin or start from your doorstep. You, if you are able to correct yourself in a better manner, and you be a little rational thinker, you, if you are analyzing whole lot of things, your matter will be clear. Look, if you are qualified today, one thing for that matter, one need to understand that you got an opportunity to get a good education. Now that education, if you are not able to exercise your knowledge and power and wisdom in your life to make your life little smoother, and your earning from that knowledge, one has to earn money. That is the main thing. And if you want to survive, you need to see what are the ways you have to earn money. That is the thing. One should exercise that part. For that part, I talked about the entrepreneurship. Finally, if you are able to justify your means and life for your essence of life, probably then everything will fall in line. So, you talk about the respect, society, many things, all will come in your way. The day you'll try to prove your worth, that you are able to do something for your own life, and you know how to live alone, and how to also make money, and also how to make others happy at the end of the day. And that every society, probably there are many countries, people are not worried about their job and life. The reason, they are designed and developed such a way, even if society is not providing anything, they know how to lead their life, how to become a self-sustainable entity at the end of the day. That much thing. And as I told in my previous 4 5 lectures, that after PhD, people are driving auto rickshaw in Mumbai street. People are applying job for a sweeper job. PhD, MTech guys, they are applying for sweeper job. There are jobs which are designed for a kind of a skilled worker or laborers. For that, qualified people are working. This is a matter of great concern for India. I told about the education policies and system also many times. I have many videos in that direction. What is the best education methodology one need to apply in this, keeping present situation in mind? The education policies also has to be changed. You cannot have the very old style education policies. Those are basically helping to enrich your knowledge. The only thing, enriching knowledge and making a kind of skilled professional way of thinking. Knowledge is power, I believe it. But finally, if you are not able to convert knowledge into kind of a your day-to-day basis life, that exercise, if you are not able to do it and make your life out of it, that knowledge is probably at the end of the day, it will be burden to any individual. Those burdens are too much for any individual to kind of tolerate, also to sustain such kind of knowledge. That is what it is very very important. Exercise your knowledge and wisdom. So see, look around those cats. I every time I say that cats are very very intelligent. They exercise their knowledge like anything. They are sometimes violent, they are non-violent, sometimes they are very democratic, they are sometimes political, they are emotional. They have the all qualities they have. They have sometimes they fight. So many things they do in their life for their survival. In a society, like any society, like a human being has to see, every time there is a fight going on, in between a lot of philosophical understanding and class that is going on, what to do, what not to do, what is good, what is bad. At the end of the day, there are many issues, many conflict, probably one is going through every moment. So finally, one need to zoom down what is good, and what 2 3 points, probably that the fundamentals of life, what is more important, the basics of life. Sometimes if you fail in batting, sometimes then you come down and started to practice the basic things, right? It's a time for anybody probably to understand the basics. What are the basic requirements? That is the base point, the foundation. Probably that foundation one has to gradually switch over, if to prosper, do many other things. If you think many things in life at the initial point, probably you will end up with nothing. take one step, your journey, that this is what I am deciding for 1 year. If you are able to find little success, then you take the next level. Then see, you analyze yourself, your broadness, probably many things will come up. The third level, fourth level, fifth level. Gradually you sharpen your mind at the end of the day, and exercise whichever field you are taking, and you need to be an expert at the end of the day. That is what it is more important. Today's world is much more expertise is required. It's not knowing something, it's knowing something is important, and get into deeper of this subject and understanding it and extract it, then and implement it. Then it is a kind of a cycle you are completing. Like in our sales and marketing, there is one say, even if you have completed 99%, because of this 1% or 99% or 0.5% you have not got the order, you have to see that your cycle is completed, your sales process is closing, getting the order and executing the order and getting the payment. That is the full cycle of a kind of a sales process. In between, if any interruption or any hindering factors, if you have done 60, 70 or 80%, it's theoretically you have done some effort, but practically if you are analyzing, it's an effort done but result is zero in a business point of view. So you need to see that it is 100% done. So this life is full of drama and tragedy everywhere. Each life is different, each society is different, and you have to make a lot of adjustment based on the society. You are not here as a social reformer at the end of the day, or a spiritual leader at the end of the day. You are here to take care whatever limitations you have, whatever knowledge you have, whatever wisdom you have, whatever expertise you have, whatever help and assistance you might be needing from the society, from XYZ. You need to exercise those things. You need to see in a very rational way, rational thinker, without having any kind of prejudice or biasness or anything for that matter. If you are able to do that, you will be successful for sure. You might not be a good reader of microeconomics, macroeconomics, for that matter, good economics, bad economics. So you don't get into that kind of conflict, like, no, that is not going to give anything to anybody for that matter. Your life spirit has to be there. That spirit is important, and work intelligently. Working hard is not going to help you. Working both intelligent and harder way, and teamwork. I talked about the leadership qualities many times. Work as a team member, not as a boss. That is the philosophy, and definitely there will be success. Take out the ideas which are having a very uniqueness, probably what is different from the others. Some positive sides you have to see, or plus points you have to see. If you are working on technology, knowledge, many issues, probably what is different, what you are offering, that is what it is coming. The branding, the specification part is coming into the picture. So what is more lucrative at the end of the day, presenting in an aesthetic way and presenting in a nice way. All products, sometimes I personally feel many products are good because of bad presentation. The value or the market imagination, or the imagination of buyer, it goes down. It is the presentation sometimes is very, very important. How you present it, the same thing, like I told many times, like, no, a same product can be offered or packaged in a much better way, and also better price can be driven, and how you are representing that part. So those are is a very kind of part of advertisement and marketing that is coming into the picture. That is all. Those things can be learned gradually, those basic things. Nowadays in India, what I am thinking, like, no, we are thinking too much that how to form a company. It is very tough to form a company, how to get a GST registration, how to get a PAN card or Aadhaar card. Many things sometimes you feel it is a tough. It is very making a website, putting your ideas, meeting people, respective people. You can always do that, and it's very easy once you have those idea given in a writing form. Probably you can go. That is what step by step probably you wanted to think in that direction. Friends, I've been speaking for close to 65 minutes. Sometimes I feel it is pointless to speak for a long time. I could have finished my presentation within 5 minutes. I am extending because to make little sense that that life is a journey. Probably there are many things, many hurdles that one need to face in their respective life, society. Those are not very simple things, those are very complex things. It's a kind of a chaos theory. You have to find out a symmetry out of it, and those symmetry probably depends on how much reasoning power you have, how much knowledge you have, how much understanding you have. On that basis everything, there are in society, there are many people are ready to help you. That is what it is, that grooming or nurturing part or incubation part is coming into the picture. There are many ways one can think in that direction. Finally, again, I am telling, it is your knowledge and wisdom how you want to drive all those things. If you are a quality thinker, a positive thinker, probably everything is going to fall in line. And you reach, make sure that is coming into your break even point. Once you reach the break even point, if you are able to maintain that also for few years, definitely there is success. For living, you don't need a big money at the end of the day. What is more important, your satisfaction, what you are doing it. And if you strongly believe that the idea of what you are pursuing it is good, I personally feel that definitely there will be success. Nobody can snatch you from your idea or snatch from your success. That is the final thing. That money part and everything will fall once you are thinking in a positive way. Everything will come. There are people who are ready to help you in many ways. Things are happening. Only it's a lack of idea and lack of courage that is the all hindering factors. Sometimes ego also. So why should I do this job? Why I want to do this job? This is not a job which is fitting me. Like this kind of thing. It's nothing. Again, I am telling, no job is good and bad. You have to make your world in a little better way. Make your life little better way. You can think a bad thing in a good way, good thing in a bad way. It's all in minds, right? So it's nothing to be told or talked about. I told many times about the whole lot of things like no bad and good. So it's a job at the end of the day. Your idea at the end of the day. People are doing much more worse job. If somebody is watching, they're the great engineers. People are working in wastewater, garbage, cleaning, many things, many jobs are going on, and they don't see that this is a waste for them. They are doing the recycling. Oh, there are many things. Probably if I want to have videos, probably I can talk later on my various presentation. If somebody is interested, probably they can log into my, or simply go to Google, type MindLab, MINDLAB, Dr. S. Paul. You will find many videos, 100 200 videos, you will find it different things: entrepreneurship, philosophy of life, my poetry, my ideas, my vision document, many things you will find in my animal world, my lot of economical theories that I have given in various presentation to make a sustainable model. So those things are, it's my part of my understanding. If somebody wishes to know, they can log into that part. Once again, thank you very much for hearing me out. This is almost 70 minutes I have spoken. Probably I want to conclude. Thanks a lot. 15 August is coming. So we are all waiting for a new Independence Day. That is what it is coming. So let's see. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.